Hi guys, welcome back. I'm about to watch episode 7, Life in a Glass House. I just got done listening to the podcast, and I just want to say, as a girl that has always had platonic male friends, straight and gay, it is possible to have male friends that are just friends. And I, for one, am not one that ever shipped Lucas and Haley. I always saw them as a brother and sister type. So it kind of creeps me out to hear people actually saying they shipped them, because I'm like, I never really saw that chemistry with them, but hey, to each their own. I totally forgot that Peyton is the one that kind of lured Lucas to the party, the big party. Okay, so I don't know why I never saw it before, but I feel like the reason that Nathan was so intrigued by Haley is because, number one, she didn't take his BS, and she never really fell for his crap. So I feel like she challenged him. I mean, she was definitely different from any other girl because she didn't immediately fawn all over him. So that's a good note, ladies. Okay. I love when Keith is like, I'm sorry, Deb, but when I think of Dan, party is not what comes to mind. I do love how Karen is just like, I don't remember anything crazy that you said, Keith. Sweet. You know, it's amazing what I missed the first and second time around rewatching this. Impromptu ASMR moment between Brooke and Nathan in the classroom when she's whispering about trying to get her, Nathan and Peyton back together. I totally missed it. The whole reason she's trying to really do that is to keep her away from Lucas, because Brooke wants Lucas. Okay, something else I noticed about Jake is I always knew he was very mature, but hearing them talk about him on the podcast, it was yeah, he was kind of like a full-grown adult, and it was really cool to see. You know, at this point we don't know that he's a dad, but we know something's going on with him. And it's it wasn't really a shameful thing. It was just, it is what it is, and he was taking responsibility for his kid, and it was just really framed in a really mature, sensible way. But I do like it when he comes in late and everyone's like, why does Whitey give you a pass? We party together. Good one, Jake. When Peyton almost runs over Haley, like you were naming, you're not on that list. Good one, Peyton. I like how Haley can be so quippy about her moments when, Peyton's like, just be careful. And she's like, yes, careful. I know, you be careful too. And she's like, with which one? Driving. My mother likes when I get home alive. I love when Karen's like, Keith, just promise me you won't hit Dan unless I ask you real nice. And Keith's like, okay. Okay, so this time around, I really feel like Peyton looks prettier in that black dress than even Brooke does in the red dress. I know, blasphemy, right? But that's just my personal preference. I love the full disclosure friendship moment between Haley and Lucas. So cute. And I'm just glad that he was like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Just be careful. And she's like, I wish everybody would stop saying that. Like the ladies on the podcast, I love Deb's jab at Dan. She's young enough to be your daughter, and in this town, she might just be. I mean, seriously, flirting with the young bartender, Dan? Really? I forgot about the signal. Caw! Oh man. Brooke's sitting there thinking Lucas is looking at her, but it's clear he's looking at Peyton, and Peyton's not looking at anyone. And Whitey's all over there eating the bowl of nuts while Dan rambles on. Hilarious. Whitey. Yeah, didn't mention the staff. Oh, didn't I? Oh, here, you're out of cashews. And then he takes Dan's drink. Bravo. So slick. Brooke's whole thing with the bartender. And then Whitey complimenting Karen. Feels. I can see why Sophia is like not thrilled with the way Brooke acts in this episode. It's almost very like desperate, but she set it up really well to make it look like Peyton's getting back with Nathan, which clearly is not happening. Okay, Sherry, Tim's stepmom, biatch. So the little confrontation between Brooke and Peyton in front of Nathan and Tim about, are you finally fessing up or denying your feelings for Lucas? I forgot about that. But what I really forgot about was Brooke finding the letter from the little note from Haley inside the study kit for Nathan. Oh, I forgot about that. They really were going for the devil in the red dress, and now I see it with Brooke because like even behind her she has like fire behind her at one point, so I'm like, very well played. Oh, the kiss that Brooke dared Peyton to kiss Lucas. That's a bit long for just a dare, don't you think? When Haley shows up with the pot with the desserts and walks up on Lucas and Peyton about to kiss. Oh, you've got your hands full. Don't worry, I don't need your help. I love how Karen like kind of has to push Haley to go to the party and go have fun. It only comes around once, and that is so true. Very good advice. And I love how she's like, why didn't you tell me you were, tutoring Nathan, and we're good. Like, it's this heart moment. I don't remember if I noticed that Dan was like watching intently Lucas talking to Peyton, like with this weird look on his face, like, stalker much? Only Brooke could make an innocent note from Haley seem dirty. Call me if you need anything at all. Okay, when Deb and Karen are talking on the couch and Dan sees it, he looks downright frightened. Oh my god, I don't blame him. He should be. I do love that Karen and Deb could come together and have that very mature, very honest conversation. And it's a really empowering moment to see two women with such these diverse, like, really, reasons that could very easily make someone hate someone, I guess. And they overcame it, through time, and they found that they really like each other, in a there's a common core of friendship there. You can really see the fear in Peyton's eyes when Lucas is like, I really want a relationship with you. And she's like, no. But after listening to the podcast and hearing Hillary Burton talk about how that was a really uncomfortable scene, is crazy. Okay, sorry, my light went out. But yeah, I was just saying, it's really wild to hear Hillary Burton talk about how that was an extremely uncomfortable scene for her to do in general, and how the backstage people on the crew really helped her out through that. And so it's not a far stretch to see the fear in her face, because it was also probably tied to just doing that scene in general. So it's just like interesting to have these little tidbits because it really kind of puts together the whole scene for me. I do love how Lucas comes back, claps back to Dan, like, because Dan's like, oh, I'm just trying to give you a benefit of my experience. And he's like, what, abandoning a child or fathering one? Because one's an accident and one's a choice. Very true. Okay, I love when Brooke like goes after Jake and he's like, whoa. She's like, oh, I'm drunk, you'll do. And he's like, quite the honor. It's like, even when you're turning her down, you're being really classy about it. But I love when he's like, you really want to know the truth? It would kill your buzz. Again, so great. Karen's right, Dan. You have a beautiful life. Why are you in the past? Oh my god. Okay, when Lucas finds Haley on the floor and she's crying and he's like, is this floor taken? Oh my god. And the look of concern on his face, just, I love it. I love when he says, "You're not gonna get a big fat I told you so from me." And I just, I see why some people would ship them, especially in this moment, but I just always see them as brother and sister. It's so adorably sweet and just innocent loveliness. I do like when Sherry's like, "Where did those cakes come from?" Deb's like, "Karen's Cafe." Oh, who knew? But it's sad that Dan feels off balance being a decent person. Boy, does that tell you something. For a split second, when Nathan shows up to the cafe and he's asking Haley if he can come in, and she walks up to the door, I got a very Friends vibe with the whole friend, like Ross and Rachel cafe moment. And then she turns off the light and walks away. And see, this is why Nathan likes her, because she doesn't take his crap. She makes him step up and be like, "Dude, you gotta be better than this." Take note, ladies. When we see Jake singing to his little baby girl, it is so sweet. It's a very sweet way to reveal that. When Nathan walks in on Brooke being knocked out drunk on his floor, and he has this look like this has happened before. This is not a first time occurrence. At the end with Peyton, and she gets up and takes off her jacket because it's like she knows Lucas is watching her on the webcam, and she just covers it up. It's like, I love that. What are you doing? And it's like, oh, you're covering it, okay, because she's like so scared to let anybody in, and it's just so heartbreaking. I think a lot of people can identify with that feeling. So that was this episode. Those were my thoughts. Thanks for watching my rewatch reaction, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And thank you to all my new subscribers, by the way. I'm glad you're enjoying, and I will see you next week. Bye.